Hey YouTube, Alpha here. I wanted to bring you guys a video about drifting for beginners. A lot of people out there just kind of throw you out on a rear wheel drive setup, but I wanted to show you how I started out back on like Forza 3 and Forza 4. And this is basically what I've been doing for years till I get used to a game or, whatever I've been driving with. I'll usually go with like an all-wheel drive setup to start out with, and then transition into a rear wheel drive car. But this will work with pretty much anything you can throw an all-wheel drive setup into on Forza, and it usually seems to work pretty good. Here I'm just showing you, I just max out all the upgrades. Now a lot of the drifters on Forza will tell you to go and use like the cheapest tires or whatever stock, so that way you get less traction, but I actually use better gripping tires. I always have. It just seems to work for me. You can kind of go with whatever you like. But this is the type of setup I go with, and I usually do a V8 swap because a lot of these other 4 and 6 cylinder cars in Forza are just a little underpowered. About the most you see out of them is around 500-600 horse, which really isn't enough to do anything for you. And pretty soon here I'll show you the actual setup, how I go and set up the differential and everything for the all-wheel drive. And I kind of just put it basically all the rear wheel drive setup, but it's still gonna give you a little bit of that feeling like it's a all-wheel drive car, but it's gonna give you just enough grip to be able to slide around and kick the rear end out. And I noticed a lot of the people that make these drifting videos really don't go too in depth. They just kind of slap up a quick build and what they do and just build a rear wheel drive Sylvia or anything like that. But you can do this with any car. Skyline isn't really the best on here. That's what I used to drift with, and like here the gearing I usually aim for around 200 miles an hour, and I put my toe out a little bit. Springs and the suspension I usually pretty much leave the same. And I put the differential all the way to rear wheel drive. If it seems like it's, you're spinning out a little too much, you can kind of throw the front wheel drive on about 10%, and then bring the rear wheel drive, your rear differential down to around 60 or 80, and it'll handle really well and stick to the pavement a little bit better. But this is just a basic going through showing you what I've used for drifting in the past, and it works. And if, like, say if you're a guy that's new to Forza and you're coming on here trying to drift and go with your friends, this will be a good setup that'll probably work for you. It'll work with pretty much any car that you can use it for. And I've even used this setup in like little Honda Civics and whatever you want to do, muscle cars, it don't matter. It all pretty much handles the same. If you're gripping a little too much and you still can't get it to slide, like the Skyline just seems like it doesn't have enough power to get it to really slide around much, you can just go throw some lower grip tires on there and it'll help you slide around a little bit more. But if you guys got any other cars that you would like to see me do tunes for, let me know. I also have a drag tune that's really popular in the store, and it's capable of running a 19.1 on a drag strip with the Dodge Dart, which is about the best I can get a car to run. I don't know if I could do any better than that, but that's up in the store. Just search me on in the storefront or whatever it's called on there. Just search KLM Alpha and it should pop up on there. And if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and throw them down below. If you want to know any, want to see me do any tunes specifically for certain cars, I usually go with rear wheel drive, but if you guys want to see anything, just throw it in the comments and I'll put it up.